Greetings, Imhotep all. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Clark, and this is Comedic Fortitude. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that most of them have to do with receiving those positive vibrations out of the abundant universe. And today is no different. Today, it is my pleasure to introduce two local artists who are very powerful, and together, they're even more powerful. You've seen one of my guests before. She goes by the name of Sage, R&B singer around town. And then, for the first time on this show, welcome Madgesdiq. So, first thing I want to ask you is, tell me about the relationship, how you two met, and how you got into the music together.
Well, we met at Madison High School. Madison, right? Yeah, Madison. There was a poetry slam going on at Madison for, what was it?
The high school kids at Madison.
What is the thing that they do? Verselandia.
Yeah, Verselandia.
Okay, so they had a slam at Madison for Verselandia, and you were a judge, right?
Yeah, a couple of tracks that I needed some female vocals on. And I had been, we had been low-key keeping in touch. I had kind of been checking her movement, saw that she was really getting, passionate and about the music and being out there more with it, and I liked her voice. And talked to my producer and was like, yo, man, I think I found somebody to lay these vocals for us. I sent the link of one of her performances to him, and he was like, yo, we rolling with her. So she came through, she dropped the vocals, and immediately it was like, yeah, that's what we need. There was fire. It was just like a chemistry there. It was a connection there from the jump. So we just figured, hey, why not continue to create music together? And that's how we got here today.
That was like 2017, I think.
We've known each other for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years. And then it was probably 2.5, almost 3 into the relationship of knowing each other that we started doing music.
Okay. And so then, as far as actually when, that total connectivity and then everything just seemed to mesh well, how long did it really take for that vibe to really kick in where y'all just, it was like instant?
It was instant.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the songs that we recorded the first time that we were in the studio together before we got there. We had like a couple hours. And I don't know, I don't think we ever really went back and did much re-recording on them.
Nah.
We on that early morning time, chief. Hey, we on that early morning time, chief.
You enjoyed me. Why'd you go and do me like that? I can't get down with that. Gotta take a quick step back. It's way too soon for that.
We started doing music.
Okay. And so then, as far as actually when, that total connectivity and then everything just seemed to mesh well, how long did it really take for that vibe to really kick in where y'all just, it was like instant?
It was instant.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the songs that we recorded the first time that we were in the studio together before we got there.
You connect with people. Even when I met her initially at Madison, like there was something there. There was an energy there. There was a connection there. You just know. And so when it was time to make the music, it was, as soon as she opened her mouth, like it was over.
As soon as I heard the song.
You know what I mean? Like it just happened like that. Like
For the people that aren't familiar with your music, describe your music. What's the vibe, the sound? I know what it is, and I totally dig it.
It's universal. It's a universal sky high vibes. We blend a lot of different genres. We blend a lot of different fields and sounds.
All of us, me, Madgesdiq, Goals, even other producers we work with understand that we're channeling. This isn't us, so ego is removed. And through that, we're really able to, I look back and I'm like, wait, hold on, who wrote that? Like, certainly wasn't the person who has all of these thoughts all day, because they be, yeah, anyway. So it's definitely a channeling thing, and we're all on the same page about that. So ego's removed, we do what makes sense and what sounds best, what feels best. Well, we do a monthly show the 4th Friday of every month, not the last Friday of every month, but the 4th Friday of every month, at Alberta Street Pub. And that's a free show, all ages, 6 to 8 p.m. So that's somewhere you can always catch us. Do you have anything else coming up?
I mean, other than that, just stay tuned. 'Cause I think as the new music begins to come out, I think you'll see both of us a lot more in terms of performing. And that's either musically or, spoken word events, because, she's a poet as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely want to expand more into frequenting those places as well, because that's another venue, another channel for me to share, the message that I'm sharing, and for us to share the thing that we're sharing. So
yeah, definitely. We have I do a monthly open mic with my road dog and co-host Rip City Reese, and so that's at Mississippi. What is it? Mississippi Pizza Pub. Yeah, and that's every month. It's on a different date. We don't have a consistent date yet. That'll be coming in the future. But right now, our next one is January 16th. So I don't know when this will come out, but if that's in time, yeah, January 16th at Mississippi Pizza Pub. It's an open mic, open format, so comedy, poetry, music, all welcome.
Well, that sounds exciting. I see your stuff on social media, and brings me to my next question. I understand about, was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, on the way to Idaho or on the way back, there was an accident.
Yeah.
And when I read it, it just like brought chills through my spine. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful to be alive. We were driving down to Chicago with our friend Fresh Craig to get some artwork, to actually save some artwork that was very likely next to be destroyed, from all over the world. And on our way back, we were driving back, drove there, drove back. And we were like one day away from, like, imagine I had a show the next day. And so this was Saturday, we had a show Sunday night. And so we were thinking we'd get into Portland around 5, 6 a.m. Just kind of rest, relax, get moving and go to the show. And it would be a tiring process, but it was, that's what we do as artists. It's part of being on the road, especially doing all different types of things. They call me Sage of all trades. So, I definitely, it's not unusual for me to up and be gone for any random thing that calls to me. And so we were on our way back, and in Boise, or just an hour outside of Boise, actually, a small town, got hit by a truck. The speed limit out there was 85, so he was going at least 85, if not faster. And he was driving a Ford F-250, towing a long trailer, hit the back of the truck with the front end of his truck, and then hit us a second time. And so I see sparks fly into our driver's face, and then I look out the windshield that I'm kind of looking at, and the truck flipped 3 times. So we were, well, I shouldn't go there, but yeah, it was very scary. It was like some Final Destination with the truck flipping and everything. Yeah. So and the truck was totaled. So there's a million things going through our mind. Is everybody okay? Is the guy that just flipped okay? Is he alive? Which he was. And everyone walked away okay, but we were like, how are we gonna get back to Portland? Are we gonna fly? It looked like a possibility, and then we got to the airport and they were like, oh, well, there only one of the flights is for that price. The other one was like 3 times as much, almost. So Reese, she's like, she's my manager, my road dog, my partner in crime. She's like, all right, we're gonna drive. We're getting a rental car. Come on, like over to the rental car place. Like, let's go. We're not stopping to think about this. We're just whatever is possible. And Jack continues to provide. They were calling me, Maggie were calling me from the venue, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be there, but I'm gonna be there like right close to on time. And then as we're driving, you know, you gotta stop to get gas, you gotta stop to pee. And so he's like, yo, we gotta go on stage. Like, where are you? And I was on Skidmore, around the corner from Mississippi Studios. And I'm like, go on stage. He's like, we're gonna do a song that you can just hop on. And I walked on stage like 90 seconds after they had started their set.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's,
And we were the first band, so and there were only 3 bands, and it was all bands, so we couldn't, you know, you can't move things around when it's like that.
that's an amazing story and an amazing commitment to your, you know, your first love, that music.
No,
Yeah.
this girl right here, like, she works, man. Like, a lot of people say they do music or they do whatever they do, but they really don't do it. Like, this girl puts in the hours, man. Like, writing, recording, studio, recording, you know, with people here, recording with people there, always working on, like, trying to master her craft, or should I say mastering her craft, because there's no try. Like, she's in the midst of doing it. So the commitment to her craft and her love, you can feel it too. You can feel it in her lyrics, you can feel it in her music, and that's why I vibe with her. So just in terms of, you know, that type of effort to get to a show under any circumstance, like, it's just a testament to like who she is anyway as an artist. So that's dope. So I just wanted to say that.
Wow. So what advice would you give to anybody that's trying to, you know, get their stuff out there, or just, you know, has a hobby and might want to pursue it and see what they can make of it? I mean, obviously the hard work.
See how people in other than America feel about your music. Get your music. That's the realest number one tip that I can give. That's the one that people might not necessarily talk about, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Your friends and your family, I see people's friends and family lie to them all the time. Sorry, your music is not that good, or like you would make a great manager. I know you love music, so you would make a great manager, a road manager, or promoter, or producer. But like, but if your music, I think that if your music really, if it resonates with people all over the globe, if you try to get people listening in Europe, Africa, and it connects with them, then people where you're from are gonna see that, and then they're, oh, it's a bandwagon thing, and but it is what it is. Like, that's what I feel like I've learned over time.
And I would say to add to that is just stay true to who you are.
Yeah, most
Like
definitely.
know who you are and stay true to who you are, no matter what happens. You know what I mean? Because I think for me, that's when the best music is made. You know, when you're making music that's true to who you are, whatever it is that you're pursuing, you got to know who you are, and then, you know, have confidence in yourself even when others don't, because there'll be times along the journey where you might be the only person that believes in what you're doing, and you have to have enough confidence in yourself at those times to know that, because it's not going to be all peaches and cream, because especially nowadays, like, there's no blueprint to how this thing works now. With internet, social media and all that, like, who knows what the way is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or how long the way is going to take. So you just have to be true to the craft, be true to who you are, and then be willing to step outside, you know, your normal audience or comfort zone, your box, and see what happens. It's a big world out there.
Okay, so I know you've been doing your thing, Madgesdiq, for years, and I'm just curious, as to this point, before you go on, do you still get that kind of like first time feeling? Do you still have the butterflies, or is it just so natural now that you don't pay no mind?
It's both. It's both natural, and you still get the butterflies, you know, because there's still that element of like, this is what you enjoy doing. This is what you love to do. So you always gonna have a little bit of, you know, also, you know, you still want to be perfect. At least I do. You know what I mean? When I step on stage, like, I want to be perfect. I want every lyric to be hit right. Da 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 da. So you have that kind of that butterfly a little bit too.
Step in the booth and keep recording it over and over, and the producer and your team's like, stop recording it. It sounds good, and you're like, nah, but like, no, do it one more time.
But live is live. So yeah, I think anytime you love doing something, like, you're going to maintain that. Once that leaves, then you probably shouldn't be doing what you're doing anymore.
That's the butterflies are like the a little bit of nervous energy is good. It keeps you on point. It keeps you alert and aware.
In the moment, you know, hopefully. It forces you to get in the moment, because a lot of that stuff is just, you know, if you let it go to your head, that's when it becomes an issue. And I think that's one thing you can't do as an artist, as a performer, as anything. You can't allow a little bit of butterfly to turn into something that turns into doubt or fear, which I think is what happens. But butterflies are cool, man, because butterflies can be whatever, yo. You can be falling in love and feel butterflies. It's all good, yo.
All right, so I have to ask you a question. So for each of you, what is your favorite song by the other? And then what is the favorite song that you guys have together?
That's a good question. That's a good question. You want me to answer first?
I'm sure, if you want.
I would say, by her, I would say there's probably two. Because I can't.
That's cheating.
Well, if I got to go straight off the top, then I got to go with Fronto Shorty then.
Okay.
Like, Fronto Shorty, that's my joint. Like, Fronto Shorty is my joint.
That's funny. I was going to say Weed, Politics, and Chicks.
See, we on the frequency.
Okay.
I got caught up in it. Some of that good right here.
I'm on my weed, politics, and chicks deep in my scrolls. Playing ball so I can stay fit, one never knows how life just might play itself out, stay on your toes.
Oh yeah, I love that title.
Yeah.
And then
And the hook is nice, it's catchy.
but yeah, so the Fronto Shorty, I think we both hang in that vibe, like that frequency, those elements is like part of our culture, is part of like our lives, who we are. So when we in that element, it's fresh. So yeah, Fronto Shorty. Weed, Politics, and Chicks. That's interesting. That's dope though.
I mean, that's like off the top, that's the first. I mean, as soon as he said that hook came into my head, I'm like, yeah.
Well, I know I've listened to it. I just don't remember off the top of my head, but I know it's hot because we were somebody else, and I think it was at that training, and Madgesdiq came in, but before he came, Brother Ashford had said something about him coming, and then a lady in the audience said something about that. So I thought that was kind of dope.
So as far as our favorite song together, I mean,
Oh yeah. This is actually gonna surprise you, I think.
That's a tough one.
I'll go first this time.
Oh yeah, you do that then.
Mine is Be Still.
Yeah, okay. Be Still's a banger though.
Because it's more meditative. I think that the message with it is much more powerful than.
I think I would go with Question probably. And I would go with Question just because one is finished. Completely.
I think Be Still will be the last one to be finished.
And it's ready to go. But I feel it has the type of potential in a song that I've been looking for. You know what I mean? That I've been really putting forth energy to create. You know what I mean? Like
I think that'll be the favorite.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I've been doing it, for a while, and yeah, like you searching for a sound. You know what I mean? That's why when you asked earlier about what advice, be yourself, because I know what it's like to have to stay true to yourself, because you're looking for something, you're looking for a certain sound, we connected because she elevates the sound. You know what I mean? Like she takes whatever I have to a higher level. And then when we do it together, then it's magical. Cause we, you know, as individuals, we cool, you know, but together I think it's even better. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and you brought in a completely different sound that I wasn't even really exploring too much. And that vibe, so, you know, that vibe would have never been found elsewhere. Those are unique experiences that you get with unique people.
So back to question is it has that potential, I think, to like really engage people and get their attention. And it's dope because it showcases what's to come. You know what I mean? Like it's a good, because I told you earlier, we gonna take you to a slightly different dimension. Like the frequency, the energy is gonna shift when you hear the music. And I think this one still has enough element of like stuff people are used to, that it's a good segue into what's coming after.
Almost definitely, yeah. I mean, the question that we ask is just as important as the meditative aspect of Be Still.
No doubt. But Be Still's a banger though.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes this edition of Comedic Fortitude. My name is Clark. I hope you enjoyed today's programming. Be sure to check the description so you can find links to the guests that were on here. And also, if you like what you saw here and enjoy the content, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Ankh Uja Saneb.